let's introduce you to our guests for today. We have Saurabh Jain, Equity Head Research at SMC Global Securities, and Rajesh Palvia, SVP Technical and Derivative Research at Axis Securities. Welcome to both of you, and thank you for taking the time out. Saurabh, let's talk about L&T. You've seen the numbers. Revenue and profit growth seems healthy, but a bit of a contraction in the margins. What would you suggest to our viewers who are holding on to L&T? What should they do? And is this a good time to get into the stock?
I think infrastructure capacity building, it is a story which will run for the next few quarters. I mean, it is a quite long-term story. I think markets have shown their disappointment with respect to the profit margin, but I feel that it is a short-term correction. If you go by the numbers by the management, I think the order book is growing at a stupendous pace. It has already surpassed the earlier guidance by the management itself. And next year also they are looking a good growth in the order book itself, and the execution will also be faster next year after the formation of government. So I think it is an opportunity for the long-term investor to chip in at these corrections, and for the long-term investor, I think they must hold for the long term.
Fair point. Now let's quickly get into the questions. The first one's coming from Rajesh, and he's talking about SBI. He bought the shares at 650, which is higher than the current market price of SBI share. Now he wants to know if he should continue holding on to this one. We don't know if this is for the longer term, but Saurabh, tell us about the longer term outlook, and we'll take a shorter term as well.
I think there have been quite a misses and hits in the banking pack. SBI results will be announced, I think, in a day or two. I think then the things will get much clearer. Apparently, it is looking that the SBI will also see some kind of a compression in the net interest margin, and the growth will be, close to the industry average only. It's a long-term story. I feel if you are holding SBI, I think you must hold for more than a year or 2 years. Then only you can make a good amount of return. I think for the long-term investor, it remains a hold.
From Ludhiana was asking about Indian Oil Corporation. And in fact, let's pull up the chart if we can. He's bought at a price of 77, he says. It's currently trading, so it's doubled from his buy price. He's got a 2-year time horizon, and this is a stock, of course, as part of the OMC pack that has gained in the recent past. It's up about 0.5% in trade today as well. I'll come to you on this one, Saurabh. Fundamentally, how does it look for 2 years?
I think if you look at it from the perspective of 2 years, I think you can hold. If on the valuation side, the stock seems to be quite attractive, and going forward, it is expected that they would be gaining on the because of the jump in the crude prices, they will be gaining extraordinary gains. On the refining side and on the marketing margin side also, the company is expected to do well. So in my sense, it is a hold.
All right. Next up, we're talking about FedFina, which recently got listed in December, if I'm not wrong. This one's from Riaz. He's bought the stock at 135 levels. Saurabh, how does FedFina look for the longer term?
Sorry, don't track this.
All right. I don't think there'll be a lot of data on the charts on this one.
I think he also wants to know about ITC. In fact, that was the first question that he had asked. He has bought, I believe, at levels of 145. Let's pull up the chart and see where it's currently trading. And he's got 300 shares of ITC. It's trading and significantly higher, therefore. So I believe that he's bought, unless he's talking about 145 shares which he's bought at 300. Irrespective, the question is whether to hold on at this point. Saurabh, what's the view on ITC? Results just out of the way, and I think the only underperformance came, or rather the only outperformance came from the hotel business, whereas the others underperformed, and I believe there was also an issue in terms of volume growth that they faced.
See, last year the base was high. The 15-60% kind of volume growth was witnessed in the cigarette business. But the company came out, the expectation of the market was 0 to 2% volume growth, and it came below that. So that was a disappointment. But I feel that it is a short-term disappointment. Going forward, I think all businesses, if you look at the business, all the businesses, FMCG, cigarettes, hotels, paper business is not doing well, but I think the things will improve, and ITC is a kind of a stock which should remain in your portfolio. I think in the next few quarters, I think we'll see much higher price and much better performance.
All right. Now, the next question is coming from Satya, and he's talking about two stocks here, Dixon and Indus Towers. Now, there's some news flow around Dixon as well. There's some import duty that's been slashed from 15% to 10% on mobile components. And on the other hand, Indus, we just saw Vodafone Idea come out with the results and talked about, the management spoke about how they will prioritize vendor dues. And Indus being one of the vendors may benefit from that. Now, Saurabh, your view on these two stocks, and this is from the perspective of 1 to 3 years.
I think Dixon Technology, the business prospects are good. I mean, the business is expected to grow well, but it is a very low margin business. Little here and there in the commodity cost can impact the margin significantly, and moreover, the stock seems to be too pricey. The valuation have remained in the past too pricey. I mean, on the price to book value side, it is trading at 28 times. So that way it doesn't give comfort. But all in all, I think stock is good. The other stock you talked about, Indus Tower, I think the market is pricing in that going forward there will be recovery from the Vodafone Idea. Earlier, Indus Tower has provisioned the amount which it has to take from the Vodafone Idea. So that at that time we saw a significant amount of correction. I think it is a good play as of now.
All right. We've got a is on Suzlon, and this is a question coming in from Durga. She has bought 6,000 shares at 43.85. I believe the purchase was made just yesterday. Sort of on the fundamentals, this is a stock that has made quite the comeback, but it's not completely out of the woods yet. There are a few headwinds that it still needs to face. What are the prospects, though, on the fundamentals?
I think things are changing for the Suzlon for the better, and that is what market is trying to price in. The debt is been reduced. The company is getting new orders. Their products are getting well rewarded now. I think things will change and promote, and it is a kind of a buyout candidate also. The holding is minuscule. So I think that is what market is trying to price in. If you have bought at these prices, close to these prices, I think you must hold for a long term. I think things will improve going forward.
All right. Next up, we have a question.
We've got a question coming in from Shishir. He's writing from Nagpur. Shishir has got 3 questions, but I think I'll stick to one. I hope that you have coverage on this, Saurabh. This is Sai Silks, which is also called Kalamandir Limited or Sai Silks Limited, which is currently trading at 241. It's down about 1% or so. He's bought at levels of 257, which is not too far away from the current market price. Would you have a view? And if so, should he hold on?
I think this company has got a lot of brand value in the. If I recollect rightly, I think the company is making a good stream of good growth in revenues, and the profitability is also okay. So you have to stay put for long. I think things will improve going forward. I think stock price will go will move higher. You have to stay put for next 2-3 quarters.
All right. Next up, we have a question from Devnath, and they're talking about GMR Airports Infra. They've bought the shares at 86. Should they continue holding on to it? I'm assuming this is for the longer term. Saurabh, what's your view on this?
I think things are improving for GMR Infra. Recently, they have been gained some money out of their arbitration award from the DIAL also. So I think on the operation metrics of the quarterly numbers are improving. So you can hold for now.
Got it. Rajesh as well as Saurabh, thank you so much for joining in and answering all the questions that you did. And viewers, we're completely out of time on this particular edition of Ask Profit. Hopefully some of the answers that we discussed today helped you out. There's lots more coming up over the course of the day, and this is NDTV Profit.